this first news story comes to us from Grace Benfell over at GameSpot. The Last of Us Part 2 remaster could be on the way. Just exactly what we were all begging for. According to a developer's LinkedIn profile, Naughty Dog is working on a remastered version of The Last of Us Part 2. As spotted by a couple eagle-eyed Reset-era users, the experience timeline of Mark I'm going to butcher this name, and I'm so sorry. Pajarillo, led outsource artist at Naughty Dog, listed this note: responsible for overseeing the production of all outsourced environments, art assets, weapons, and interactive props for two iconic titles, The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us 2 Remastered. The mention of The Last of Us 2 has since been removed from the profile. Pajarillo worked on The Last of Us 2 as an environment artist during its original production. Obviously, this is hardly an official announcement, so details like a release date, price tag, PC release, or even whether it actually exists is unknown. It's only been just over 3 years since the original version came out. It's also unclear whether this will be attached or affiliated with the upcoming multiplayer Last of Us game, which, stay tuned for a little news about that. Additionally, Last of Us Day came and went in September without any news. Shocking. This find comes just after reports that 25 contract workers were laid off at Naughty Dog. Last of Us director Neil Druckmann recently confirmed that he is writing and directing a new title, but no details have been revealed, though some fans believe they found hints in the Last of Us remake. So yeah, the kind of part two to this story is Naughty Dog's troubled The Last of Us multiplayer spinoff reportedly, quote unquote, on ice amid layoffs.
Okay.
Naughty Dog has reportedly suffered a round of layoffs, with the troubled Last of Us multiplayer spinner said to be on ice. The Sony-owned studio, which is home to some 400 staff, is laying off at least 25 developers, Kotaku said. Most of the people affected are quality assurance contractors who are seeing their contracts cut short. According to Kotaku, full-time staff are not affected. Naughty Dog will reportedly not offer severance to laid-off staff, who Kotaku said are expected to work until the end of October. According to the site, Naughty Dog staff are being pressured to keep the news quiet. IGN has asked Sony for comment. The Last of Us multiplayer spinoff, according to Kotaku, basically on ice, although is not completely canceled. Right, we'll see. This tallies with a May report from Bloomberg, which said the quality and long-term viability of the much-anticipated Last of Us multiplayer game had come into question, and as a result, a small group remains on the project while the company reevaluates the direction. Basically, it's dead in the water. Is what I would say. We know many of you have been looking forward to hearing more about the Last of Us multiplayer game, Naughty Dog said at the time. We're incredibly proud of the job our studio has done thus far, but as development has continued, we've realized what is best for the game is to give it more time. Our team will continue to work on the project as well as other games in development, including a brand new single-player experience. We look forward to sharing more soon. We're grateful to our fantastic community for your support. Thank you for your passion for our games. It continues to drive us. Yeah, there we go. There's the news. So first they're like, hey, we're working on a Last of Us Part 2 remaster. Oops, you weren't supposed to know that. Oh, wait a second. We're laying people off and canceling another game we've been working on. What is going on over there? I mean, okay, so real quick, I do want to give they were contractors that were laid off. So like they said, not full-time employees, but it just seems strange that they would. Yeah, they had a contract to work a certain amount of time, and to cut it short, like that seems like
with
a legal
no
problem, right?
severance.
With no severance. That seems like
that's cause for suing.
Some sort of legal issues could arise from that. Like, they're usually contracts are legally binding to be like,
right.
No, we're done, and we're not going to give you severance. Like,
no, that's not how that works. You ended early, you got to pay him out of the contract.
I mean, obviously, I don't know that. We don't know the fine print of the contract. Maybe there is a weird clause that they didn't see that says, oh, we can cut it short at any time, which would suck. But I don't know. Yeah, this whole thing is stinky. I don't know what's going on over there. But what's what are your thoughts on all this madness over at Naughty Dog?
The first one about the Part 2 remaster, I don't think it's a remaster. I think it's a DX version where it's just like, oh, this is the same game in a PS5 box, and they added a couple of things that they didn't have time to add in the beginning when they first released the game. Remember that whole thing about, what's his name? Gustavo, the composer? He was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be in the game and you can have me play songs for you. You know, like little stuff like that. maybe a little bit of a couple of story beats that they had to cut for time, or that it wasn't going to be able to be done might be added in. But I don't think it'll be anything groundbreaking or changing to the story.
Right.
Yeah, I think it'll just be a director's cut with like, new stuff here and there, and it'll probably more than likely they just want to get it in a PS5 box because they did part 1 already.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, there's nothing to remaster. It's already running at 1440p and 60 frames.
Yeah,
and
it's extremely high res on PS4 Pro. Like I remember playing on PS4 Pro, and like this game is gorgeous. Like it looks incredible, sounds
it's
incredible,
still that game.
Incredible. Like
Last of Us Part 2 still looks better than most of the PS5 games that have come out to this day. The only thing that that's standing in its category is Horizon and Ratchet and Clank and Dark Souls. That's it.
Yeah, I could almost see this, like, even if anything, it's just like, oh yeah, now there's like just no loading screens. Like it's just super fast, like the same game, but just like, oh, it just instantly loads now.
Right.
You know? And maybe has like a little bit farther draw distance. Like maybe they cut the draw distance short because of, like whatever. And so now it's like, oh, you can see further into the distance and whatnot. But like graphically, like all the assets were already, because I think there was a quality mode on PS4 where it was 4K.
It's already 4K.
So it's already 4K. So just like unlock it. So it's like, oh, now you don't need to choose between performance or quality. You can just play it. And it's just 60 FPS, 4K perfectness on PS5, basically. So
that's why I think it's just going to be a deluxe. And you know what? If that's the case, that's fine. What I am going to be upset about is I know they're probably going to try to get it for 70 again. Yeah. Even though they're not really going to do much to it at all.
As much as it
being 70.
Yeah, as much as it seems silly to sell The Last of Us Remaster at like full price or whatever, it's like, all right, whatever. Like, yeah, you did a lot of work on it. I don't like it. It doesn't make sense, but take it. Sure, whatever. Not for me. I did not purchase it, but you know what I'm saying. But with this, it's like I could see them reselling it at 60 or 70 or like full price or whatever, and I would be fine with that as long as they also offered an upgrade charge or an upgrade price for people who already own the PS4 version.
Yeah,
like
$10, like it was supposed to be.
$10-15 upgrade to the PS5 version or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, I'm fine with that. Like because I actually I don't know. No,
now you know what would be worth.
I borrowed it from JJ, so I don't have the disc. But like, yeah, if I had in the past, like, oh yeah, no, I'd pay $10-15 to upgrade it. Like, sure, I'd be.
What would be worth 70 is a double pack. So if you put part 1 and part 2 together, like the part 1 what are they? They don't call it, what is it?
It's called The Last of Us Part 1. Yeah, they just added part 1 to it.
Okay, so if you put part 1 and part 2 together, and you get the DX version of part 2, and you get the part 1 remake version of part 1 together in one pack, that would be worth 70.
There's no way they're doing that.
They're not going to do it, no.
Way.
But I'm just saying that for me would justify it being 70 or 69.
I'm sure there will be like a double pack. Be like, hey, get the whole collection, like a like a
99.99.
But yeah, it's gonna be like 100. So it's like, all right, yeah, technically I'm saving money, but it's a lot of dough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Naughty Dog is just making some interesting choices lately.
And then I'm sorry, I forgot there was more.
Yeah, I mean the layoffs and then the multiplayer kind of basically getting canceled.
That multiplayer game is canceled. One of the higher brass people on it wasn't even there a year, already left.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. It wasn't in the article, but yeah, they just lost like one of the big lead designers or whatever.
The guy who was supposed to be in charge of the monetizing and all that.
Okay.
The whole reason that they were making this game.
Yeah.
He's gone. So yeah, this ain't. Bungie already said that they didn't like what they saw when they looked at it initially. That's the whole reason they got pushed back in the first place. Right. And now here we are. Now they're saying it's on ice, and one of the head guys who was gonna make it, who was in charge of making it profitable for Naughty Dog to even do this, is gone. So this game either is not coming out for a long time, or it's not coming out.
It'll be a pack in with part 3 in like 6 years.
Which would make sense. That's what I would do at this point.
Yeah,
I would
just
just
hold on
push
to
it
it.
back. Hold on. Yeah, hold on to it. Keep making it and tack it onto the back of part 3.
Yeah, I mean, it seems, it even seems weird to sell a standalone multiplayer game in the Last of Us universe. Because I mean, the first multiplayer was packed in with the first game. I don't know. Yeah, it would just feel so weird to spend like, because what are they going to charge? Like, they can't charge 70 for it. Are they going to charge like 30 or 40 bucks just so we can play some mediocre
For the
online
most,
game?
if they were smart, it's free. Or
I
very
mean,
low price entry. Because I think when you look at the example games, how much is GTA? What, $20? GTA Online? Because that's like $20 to get in, and that makes money like crazy.
I don't know.
And then you also have the other extremes. Fortnite is free, and that goes crazy with, well, not as much anymore, as we found out with Epic. But you have to have a low entry point to get in the door so that people have extra money to spend when they get in there.
Right. Oh, totally. Yeah. Yeah, it's tricky. GTA Online is $10.
Oh, see?
Yeah. Oh, it's on sale right now. It's normally $20 bucks.
Right. But $20 versus 60.
Yeah.
Now that's what they're banking on, right? Remember that whole thing with that video with that guy who was talking about how to make games predatory? He's like, now I have an extra $40 to play around with because I thought it was going to be a full price game. What can I go in the store and buy? And that way, Rockstar does eventually get your whole 60. You just don't think you're giving it to them.
Right. Totally. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would make the most sense, but it's also, I don't know. Again, like Naughty Dog, it does some weird things. It's just like, although we don't even know who the new whatever CEO of PlayStation is going to be moving in there. So I mean, I would hope they would have some common sense to talk to Naughty Dog, whoever it may be, and be like, "Hey, this isn't a good idea. Yeah, just hold on to this. Put it in your back pocket."
I know.
It's gonna
be hard.
Years.
It's gonna be hard getting to Neil though. I'm pretty sure he's got a whole god complex going on right now. Now that he's solely in charge of Naughty Dog.
Yeah, I mean, he's in charge of Naughty Dog, and he just had this super ultra successful Last of Us TV show, and he's kind of riding on cloud 9 for the last couple of years.
He's thinking, I'm untouchable right now, which
that's just what he needs, is a good kick in the pants.
I was gonna say, I don't know if I would hold that position if I were you, because it seems like these days anybody could be ousted. The CEO of Unity just got ousted for that boneheaded move that he's tried to start with it.
Well, I mean, technically he left himself. That's what it says.
Oh, okay. He left. I can probably read you the note that they wrote, or the press release. We wish him all the best in his future endeavors.
And then on the back, it has the actual note that they wrote to him: "Leave or die."
Screw this guy.
Oh man. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Wild.
I don't know. Naughty Dog is it's weird because it's so. I can't say it's unlike them because we don't know what they're like behind the scenes. But as far as their public facing persona, this is definitely the most out of character that we've seen them, or that we've heard about them acting in a long time, if ever. So if that's what we're hearing out there, I can't imagine what's going on the inside. It's probably chaos.
Yeah, I don't know. Hard to know, hard to tell, but hopefully they get things straightened out over there, and hopefully they have something to show off soon, because it's been a couple years now where they keep talking about this secret single player experience and this multiplayer game, and with nothing to show for other than some concept art of the multiplayer game that's now not happening. So it's like, all right, well, what's the deal with the single player game? Like, let's show us something. It's been 3 years since The Last of Us Part 2. We should at least have like a
concept
art. All right, here's something for us. Like, I don't know. Like,
well, I was reading something that the rumor is it's a fantasy game, which would be interesting from them.
That would be very interesting.
I don't know if we're talking high fantasy or if we're talking modern day fantasy.
It's Forspoken too.
They probably would have made a really good Forspoken, actually.
Oh yeah, I think it would probably have been much better if they made it. Probably. Thank you so much for watching that clip from our podcast. Remember, if you want to watch the whole episode, the full episode, link will be in the description below. You can click on that and check it out. We got listener questions. We got more news segments. We got what you playing. We got a lot of fun things. So yeah, more than just the news. There's a lot more to the show that you should go check out. So remember, click that link in the description. Check out that full episode.